Well, this is Baruch here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, and what you were listening to there was a little bit of a song from the 50s. Great guitar piece called Raunchy. To me, it doesn't stand up to the first one, but this is energy. These are energy songs. So if you didn't grow up in the 50s and you didn't know that music, you probably missed it. Now, what's coming over here is that we're still talking about the same idea. If you don't know where you're standing when you're coming to daven, if you don't know what part of the world that you're in, the spiritual world that you're in, you will say the prayers, and the prayers will count, and the prayers will be good. But they won't get you to your ultimate goal if that goal is the Vegas with Hashem. So let's come over here and let's take a look at, we're in the second drush here, on the drushi of the, as we said, it's called Birchos Avos, and the Kabbalists will tell you that in the what's called the Birchos of Avos is the most important part of all the Shmona Esrei. Now, why? It doesn't mean that the rest of Shmona Esrei is not important, but this is what sets the stage. So without the stage and the platform, it's hard to understand. So here we come over here, and instead of just saying the words and really trying hard to say the words and understand the meanings of the words only, it would be very helpful to have a background of what's going on spiritually. And that's why we come over and we keep looking at these issues. So this is Drush Base. As I said before, we're on page Mem. Let me see if we can get down there and so you can see it. I'm going to read across the top, and these are the words of the holy ARI. Levarnis boy la'el, Eicha yidecha b'seder ha'korbanos, v'tzmiros, v'tefilus yotze v'shachris. So let's go through this. We say the korbanos first, then we say the pesuk of the zimra, then we would say the tefillah of yotzer, which we've been calling, this is the Kriya Shema in the morning, the shachris. Nechlalim kol shar ha'olamos shal eser shal assiya yetzira beriyah. Zeh b'zeh. Now, what he's saying basically is that as we are climbing a ladder, and as we come to the lowest rung of the ladder, which is assiya, we pull it up and bring it into yetzira. That's where the pesuk of the zimra take place. From yetzira, then we move all of that up, and that's what's in nechlalim kol shar olamos shall assiya yetzira beriyah zeh b'zeh. So when we get to this part, everything is already incorporated. Bia is now in a state of oneness. Kamavur b'makoma. So this all is explained in their places. This is explained properly. Until you find that all of them kulam kolulim behechol kodesh kadoshim debriya. And remember, we said that when you say the word Hashem Adni Sfosai Tiftach, that's it, Adni Sfosai Tiftach. This is the connection. This is the place, the meeting place between Olam Abriya. And we just said that Bria includes within it Yetzira and Assiya, and Olam Atzilim. So he says you are now at the Kodesh Kadoshim, the Bria, which is the highest, the lid, so to speak. So it also not only that, but of the 10 spirits of Atzilus, the Malchus of Atzilus is incorporated with it as well. So now you have a mix. So there we see that all of the worlds, are all tied and incorporated one with the next. Now let's come over here and find number Lamed Vav, which is right here. We'll read the words of the Tivikabonos, and the Meltz Hashem will be able to explain us and give us a good idea of where we're standing as we say, Adni Sfosai Tiftach. It's important to know this. Because if you know this one little thing, it will change everything that happens in your davening. Leon is Baruch Seder HaKabbanis Hu Ba'olam HaAsiya. So we said that the Kabbanis is Olam Asiya. The Pesuka Dezimra Hu Ba'olam Yetzira. The Tefillas Yotzer Hu Ba'olam HaBriyah. The Tefillas Amida Hu Ba'olam HaSivus. Going on, it says like this, Kolomar. Al Yedei Seder HaKabbanis. Olam Shlosha Rishon is the Olam HaAsiya and the Chlala Ba'olam Yetzira. Now let me say this. This is moving very slowly. I don't know if there's something going on over here, but let's say like this. Kolomar Al Yedei Seder Kabbanis. Now you say the Kabbanis, right? Olam Shlosha Rishon is the Olam HaAsiya. Now what's he telling me? Olam HaAsiya has 10 spheros. The first that is the Chabad of Olam Asiya, Olam Asiya, right? Moves up, Asiya and the Chlal of Olam Yetzira, and it joins into Olam Yetzira, Asira. Over kaddish, Ya'achar or Karbanos, and then you say kaddish, which is after the Karbanos, right before Yotzer. Olam Shar Spheres, the Chasil, the Yetzira. At this point, all of the rest of the spheros move in to Yetzira as well. Let's repeat the idea. Let me read it again. Let's repeat it. He says that Al Yedei Seder HaKabbanis Olam Shlosha Rishonos. That's the Chabad of Olam HaAsiya, and it enters into Olam HaYetzira. The Nechlala Ba'olam HaYetzira. Over Kaddish, then after the Kabbanis is over, we say Kaddish, Achetzi Kaddish. Sha'achar Kabbanis Olam Shar HaSephiras the Asila Yetzira. Then all the other 9 spheres of Yetzira, the Asiya, move up to Yetzira. So now what happens is in the Pesuka de Zimra, what's going on is that the Olam, I got that wrong. I was thinking ahead and I said something wrong. I want to correct myself. Kolomar Ayidei Seder Karbanos. So this is the lowest level. Shlosha Rishonot to Olam Asiya. Karbanos represents Olam Asiya, the Gar, the Chabad. Nechlala b'olam Yetzira, and goes up to Olam Yetzira b'Kaddish Sha'achar Karbanos. So then we have Kaddish. It depends on which davening you're doing. Whether you're Ashkenaz, you have 2 kaddish in there. If you're learning Nusach Sfard or Sfardi or Hemani, you're going to have the whole Kaddish, the Rabbanan. So Sha'achar Karbanos Olam Shar Sefiras the Yetzira. So then at the end of that, at that Kaddish, what you're doing is moving all of Yetzira, all of Asiya into Yetzira, all of Asiya into Yetzira. Now you're into Pesuka de Zimra. Nesachtim is Olam Yetzira. Over Kaddish, Olam Yetzira, Nechlala beriyah. So once again, the Kaddish, what is he telling me about Kaddish? The Kaddish has the ability to be able to move everything from Olam Yetzira into Olam beriyah, that we say that this is actually a vehicle of some sort that moves everything up. If Yotzer or, now when we get to Yotzer or, Nesachtim is Olam HaBriyah, that's when Olam HaBriyah begins to become Mesukah. So when you say now, you come to this phrase at the end of Yotzer. You come to the phrase, V'adnes Fasai Tiftach. What happens then? Nechlalo kol olamot behechel kodesh kadashim de Bria. Everything comes in the hechel kodesh kadashim of Bria now. So he said, this is what we say here, this is the tip. So he said, now everything is open, the Kodesh Kadosh of the Bria, right at the tip, at the lid of that world before it enters into the expanding universe of Atzilus. And then after that they go in to Olam Atzilus. This is like the Rav said previously. He said that previously. He said that the Heichel Kodesh Kedoshim of Bria is also incorporated in the Malchus of Atzilus. The Bria, because it goes down. That goes down. There's an aspect the Malchus of Atzilus goes into Bria. And then all of the aspects of Bria are now touching Atzilus. So if we say like this, is that there is a bridge between Olam Asiya and Olam Yetzira. That bridge is the Kaddish. Now, we haven't studied the Kaddish, and there's a lot to know about the Kaddish or Kaddish. Then between Olam Yetzira, which is formed through the Pesukei de Zimra, there's another kaddish, and this becomes a bridge that takes you into Olam to the Olam of beriyah. At the very top of Olam beriyah, all of these mochin that we had, all of the olamos down below, and all of their mochin are moved up to that level, to the level of the kadshim of beriyah, and into the kadshim of beriyah now. When we start saying the word Adni Sefasai Tiftach, that is the address of the Kehel Kadshim of Olam Abriyah, enters in the very bottom part of Atzilus, which is called the Malchus of Atzilus. So we see there's a relationship between the Malchus of Atzilus and the Kadshim of Bria, and now all of them are together and beginning to mix. And we'll see that in the next year. This is Baruch Fleischman, Tikkun Elevator.